Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Welcome into Wildcast Studios on Rogers TV for another episode of the Wildcast podcast, your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solutions, the premier destinations for all KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and Maytag appliances in Moncton. Right now, they got the KitchenAid built-in savings event. Save $600 when you purchase any 3, $800 when you purchase any 4, or $1,200 when you purchase any 5 or more KitchenAid appliances from now till March 5th. As always, fan listeners, I am your very tired host, Adam Lund, and I am joined by your favorite co-hoster, Mr. YQM, Mr. Starbucks, Mr. Jeremy Boucher. How's your week been?
I'm probably just as tired as you. Probably not as tired, but
Yeah.
you know, I think you told me you're averaging about 5 hours of
5
sleep
hours
a night.
Yeah, not consecutively. I think I forgot what newborns are like. Actually, I can confirm I forgot. My maturity of frustration is better. I think when I was 22, it was a little bit more frustrated with the not sleeping and the eating all the time. But 2 hours, hour and a half, 20 minutes. It was like she got to a week and she was like, hey, you know everything we kind of learned together? Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm going to change it all up. So, about 5 hours of sleep and
Nice.
you're getting about the same.
Yeah,
Except
I mean, that's
all consistent.
6 hours, 5 or 6 hours is pretty much what I get every night. And,
Yeah.
you know, because I like to wake up in the middle of the night and then my body's like, oh, time to party. So it just stays awake for an hour or two at a time. And so I just, whatever, watch a little TV and eventually fall back asleep. But yeah, you know, I can't remember the last time I had a full 8-hour sleep. It's been a while.
Yeah, I was like Monday? So like Thursday. I was like, I get to feel what Jeremy feels like, going to bed at 9 p.m. because that's the kind of the sleep schedule we're putting her on, 9, 11, 1, and then 5. But yeah, there's been times where she's feeding and I pass out on the floor because we decorated the whole baby room, got it ready, and there's only one chair in there. So I get to lay on the floor till she's ready to adjust, but everything went well. She was born 45 minutes. So we were in at 8 o'clock. She was out at 8:43, and then it was learning. And it was an adjustment period for sure. But yeah, no, she was 3,000 grams. She's lost a little bit, and I don't know where she's putting it all because I think her belly's like this big.
Yeah.
And by week or by 10 days or almost 2 weeks, it's the size of an egg. And I'm like, where do you put all this, baby? Good Lord.
Yeah.
But she's 2-0. She's 2-0 as a Wildcat fan.
There you go.
And she's seen some Royal Rumble stuff. She's it's a tiring, but it's a emotionally draining experience. It's funny. I was like, I'm not going to put a whole bunch of pictures up. You know, don't want to put her online all the time, blah, blah. Almost every day I'm trying to put something up, including she acknowledged Roman Reigns. She acknowledged her tribal chief. But yeah, I know that everybody's wondering how she's doing and how she's growing and all that. So I'm like, well, I'll put a few pictures up every now and then. But how are you from the Pelche deal? How did... Because that was the advantage of getting up at 1:30 in the morning to feed. I was on top of that news as it was
sent
happening.
that to me, and I was asleep, and I woke up, and I was like, "What the flying is this?"
Yeah.
It stung a little bit.
Yeah.
And just reading, you know, I think the Eric Francis article on Sportsnet, you can tell like it's Pelche didn't see it coming. He was super emotional. Doesn't even have his work visa yet for the US, so he's been staying, I think, at the Banff Springs until it gets approved.
Oh, really?
So he's still in Alberta.
Send him to Montreal with his family to hang out with them for a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna stay somewhere, the Banff Springs is
pretty nice. Yeah, pretty nice. You know, he talked about, you know, how he got pulled from the game halfway through and, you know, just went out to his car and sat in his car until the end of the game. Like he didn't even stay in the rink. You know, he just sat in his car and, you know, FaceTimed his parents and you know, they chatted about it and everything like that. And if you want to read it, it's a pretty detailed story about what
Then he went
know,
for drinks with Huberto, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they kind of, once the game was over, they all got together and stuff like that. But yeah, it was, to me, it surprised me. At the end of the day, you look at it and you're like, okay, well, technically he's an RFA at the end of the season, so the Flames could offer sheet him,
Mhm.
but I just don't see a scenario where they do that. But they are better now with Joel Farabee and Morgan Frost, and I think that the team overall deserved to kind of get players to help them make a push this year. But dropping Pelche it hurt. But going to Philadelphia, it's also
The worst situation you could go for a coach.
Like I saw you put that on Twitter, and I was like, you know what? I don't necessarily agree, because if Tortorella loves one thing, it's hard work.
That's true.
And Pelche works his ass off
That's
every
true.
shift.
He's just not a young coach guy.
No,
He's
no.
not a fan of younger guys.
But
And Pelche's not an 18-year-old player either.
No, but I think Pelche will flourish in Philadelphia, just because
The fans will love him.
Yeah, Tortorella loves hard work, and Pelche's a hard worker. So I think he's going to have a lot of success there. And Kuzmenko is a different story. I think Tortorella is going to be on his butt a lot, because it's not exactly not exactly a Tortorella type player. Let's put it that way. But I think Pelche is going to be just fine in Philadelphia. I think he's going to be an extremely valuable piece, and it sucks to see him go. But at the same time, I think he's going to have increased responsibilities in Philadelphia, and yeah, like I said, I think there's a small chance they offer Sheedham at the end of the season, but not banking on it.
I mean, he could do the thing where he gets traded and then goes and helps him out by coming back to the team, and they get two players and him back. But like somebody said, like, he's been wavered 3 times. Yeah. Like, but from what I see in Calgary, like, they are. And I kind of watch the Barn Burner podcast every now and again, because their shorts are pretty good. And I always enjoyed that show on Fan 960. And they were talking about, I think I sent you the clip of their heated debate on what this team is.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm with Pinder. Like, at some point you have to kind of bottom out to get this. But where was I going with that? Culture. Like, they had guys that didn't want to be at the rink.
Yeah.
Pelche was the one that kind of got everybody like excited to be at the rink and building a culture. And it's just, I think that's what caught a lot of people off by surprise. I mean, I guess this is Sconwar's way of kind of rewarding them for having, Dustin Wolf for having a great season.
Well, Dustin Wolf, I think, is in Calder conversations right now based on the season he's having. And I think he's right up there. You'll probably politically give it to Macklin Celebrini or I know I picked him. I picked him to win my Calder. What the heck's his name? He's in Philly, isn't he?
Oh, Mechkov.
Yeah, Matvey Michkov. Like, it's, you're politically, the Calder always goes to like the top player. But, I think the rookie of the year wise, I think Dustin Wolf is right up there in terms of, a Calder candidate. So I think he's going to get a nice payday here down the road. And as much as I'd like Calgary to maybe pull back a little bit, I don't think they're going to.
No, they're 2 points above a playoff spot. So,
and Elliot Friedman said there's no plan of them trading, Rasmussen, Anderson, or Nazem Kadri or Huberdeau. So they're going to try to make the playoffs this year, and as the French people say, squeeze tes fesses, hope for the best.
Yeah, I didn't realize they're 1 point behind the Kings for third in the Pacific as well.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, I thought, was closer to a playoff spot, but they're 7 points behind a wild card spot. So, I mean, fans in Philadelphia are going to love him.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing about those terrible fans in Philadelphia, especially Eagles fans, they like their guys. And if they see hard work, they are going to love a player like that. And I don't know how you can't. And I feel bad for Brian Leslie's head, because it'll no longer get forehead kisses. But Hell's Kitchen, we're down to the final 2.
Yes, gonna be a good one.
Hannah and Kyle.
Yeah, gonna be a good one. I'm excited for that one. It's the first one where they managed to not tease the winner or make it seem like in the trailer or teaser for the final episode, they've always kind of almost shown the door, and you know what people's hands look like.
Yeah.
So you always know, but this way they've kind of made back.
I thought we were getting a double episode last week. I thought it was going to be the
final
I was
3, and
then it was going to lead into the final 2. But I mean, I've been watching this for 5 years since we've been doing this.
Yeah.
I don't remember somebody in that final 3 where everybody's around that almost ran the table like Kyle did. 58 out of 60 points. Like he has come out of nowhere. Same with Hannah. Like I think Kyle wins. But his team with Whit and Joe, that's a dangerous. That's a danger. I mean, he's got Egypt, he's got Brandon, but that's a dangerous team. And then Hannah's got Egypt, Brittany, Amanda, and she was left with Anne Marie. Kyle has Brandon, Joe, Whit, and Lulu, and having Joe and Whit, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it's could be cause for chaos, but we'll see how he makes it out. I mean, Thursday night, I'll have to watch that another riveting Wildcats game against the Eagles, and then go home and watch the Hell's Kitchen finale.
And then the big event on Saturday. You were able to stay up for all of Royal Rumble?
Hey, look, I had one of those energy drinks at the hockey game. So
did you have it? You had it on the hockey game, right?
Oh yeah, I had it on the hockey game, and I think I paid more attention to the Rumble than it did that hockey game. But no, I stayed up and watched the whole thing.
Were you like this with Pat? Eliminated.
No, one thing Pat said was, "Don't ruin it for me."
Okay.
But I think he's stayed in town. He's staying in town until the game on Thursday. So I think he watched it after the game,
right?
Because he was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's already watched it, so we don't have to,
spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert here, but it was pretty good.
Thoughts?
So look, I'll be honest, I haven't exactly watched wrestling very, a lot recently. So, for me to say that, I knew Alexa Bliss was out. I knew she was injured and out for a while. I didn't know.
Baby.
Yeah,
she had a baby.
Oh.
She had a baby, I think 18 months ago. Like she took her full maternity leave.
That
was her return for baby.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Little
okay.
Hendrix.
Okay. And same thing with Charlotte Flair. I didn't know she was
injury.
I had no idea. But you know what? I was impressed. I think when I saw Charlotte Flair, I was like, okay, this one's obvious.
Yeah.
It was just way too obvious that she would be the winner.
I legit screamed when Alexa Bliss came out. So we had, because the baby wasn't sleeping, we had 2 TVs going. The downstairs one with the hockey game and the Oilers-Leafs game. And then the upstairs one was about 10 seconds behind. Luckily, I came downstairs and I wasn't holding the baby, because when I heard Alexa Bliss's music, I was just like, yeah. A, because that was what I picked, her to come back and win the Royal Rumble. B, her to come back.
Right. Yeah. No, I was. There was a few names that for someone who don't really watch wrestling. When I saw Chelsea Green, I was like, yeah, Canada. Because I know Chelsea Green from the Indies and stuff like that. But women's Royal Rumble was really good. I thought it was well produced and well laid out. But for Charlotte Flair to come back, like I said,
Charlotte Hogan is what we call her.
Charlotte Hogan.
Yeah, because she just wants to win everything all the time.
When I saw her come back,
sorry, Johnny Rocket.
That's obviously who's going to win. So it was obvious. The tag match, I don't even ask me who they are.
That was
Johnny Gargano's from Niagara Falls, I think. I believe.
That was the everybody go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that was
a break.
Yeah. But the Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens match was so good.
Oh
yeah, like Kevin Owens was dead.
Yeah,
like, he was dead.
He was dead.
Like, if you think wrestling's fake, I mean, he was dead.
Yeah, he. I don't think he's.
He took a few bumps.
He was. And Cody took that bump that went off the top rope.
Yep.
Oh, that was. Yeah, and then the men's Royal Rumble.
Like the ending, big fan.
Chocked full of star power.
Yeah.
I think the men's Royal Rumble gave us more storylines coming out of this. I think the women's Rumble as someone who kind of I follow Raw more than SmackDown. I don't watch a lot of Friday Night SmackDown because there's hockey to watch generally. But there was no turn really. Like there was no
very backloaded. All the superstars were in the the last
in the men's.
10.
Yeah.
Like
AJ Styles coming back.
Yeah.
Big
TNA champ Joe Hendry.
Oh,
Say his name.
And he appears. I had that in my head like all of Sunday. Was like, say his name, and he appears. It's Joe Hendry. That's all I had in my head the whole time. But talk about a pop though.
Yeah.
Like he didn't get that pop. A lot of people were like, oh, he would never get that. No, he popped. I like the fact that Jey Uso won.
Me too.
I like the fact that they went a different direction. The only negative I have on that is I don't know where it's going because he just faced Gunther 7 days before and was beaten clean. So you've already seen that match on Saturday Night Main Event. So, but I'm glad it wasn't Logan Paul when he got to the Final Four.
I'm glad it wasn't John Cena.
Yeah.
I mean, I think John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, Jey Uso.
I think John may win it, but I don't think he fights for the title at WrestleMania. I think his 17th win will be something like I've seen a lot of battling Joe Hendry go get a title that he's never won for his record-breaking title.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people said, well, he's going to do a movie now, so he'll be back for the limited. If he's doing all these events and he wins the title at Royal Rumble, and that's the payoff, well, you're 3 months into a 12-month retirement, and
or they make the WWE Championship all of a sudden a 24/7 championship, and he pins the champ on site of the movie.
Let's bring that back. Let's bring that title back. But yeah, I think eventually, probably not next year because they're going to Saudi Arabia, so there might not even be a women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I
wonder why.
Yeah, if there is, oh, good God, love those women because they're gonna have to wrestle in full leather gear, head to toe in that kind of heat. But I think eventually we'll get to a 2-day Royal Rumble. We'll have it'll be a women's day and a men's day because 2 other matches. It's like Gunther should be fighting. The Intercontinental title should be on the line. Like,
well, there's a lot of filler. There was a lot of ads, a lot of fill, a lot of commercials, a lot of lead up to these matches. Yeah. Just give me
4.5 hours.
Yeah, just give me matches.
Yeah. And we used to get paper, like you go back and watch the old school pay-per-views and it was like eight or 9 matches because it was match after match because there was no commercials. And that's kind of what I was hoping that this was going to be. Also, I want to let you know that I'm honored that you're going to name your child after me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. Because you did mention that. Can I spoil it for everyone?
No.
I mean, they know my name, right? So John Sebastian Adam.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
No, I was doing my research.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
You're like, can I spoil it? No. No, as we were talking on air about the American that we'll talk about here in a bit.
Cameron Lund didn't report to the Wildcats.
I was like going back 3 years and I was like, 0405. And I'm like going back. I'm like, John Sebastian Adam. I can bring that up on the show and say I'm honored that you. I feel like it's not Adam.
It's not Adam.
Okay,
no,
and
it's not Adam.
As per Chris, it's not Tomei.
No, it's not Dom. It's not Tomei. No, I did get a few people saying Barbashev. So no, Barbashev Boucher is not going to be my son's name, nor will it be Garland.
Okay.
So keep trying.
Emmanuel?
I had a guess of Spencer because of Tim Spencer. I had a guess of Owen from Shane Owen.
No, that's not bad.
But no, those are incorrect.
Pelche from Nicholas Pelche of the 0405.
Yeah.
Pelche Jacob Boucher.
Pelletier Boucher.
Yeah. Quick question. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Don't forget to, as always, you can follow us on the social medias. Moncton Wildcast on TikTok, Instagram Wildcast Podcast. Twitter Moncton Wildcast. I'm tired, people. I'm tired.
We're rolling with it.
Yeah, we're rolling with it. Twitter Moncton Wildcast, Instagram Wildcast Podcast, TikTok Wildcast Podcast as well on YouTube. Don't forget to like and smash the subscribe button. Let us know you like what we're doing.
I don't even have a laptop tonight. I'm showing off the bent anchor.
In
Cumbermere, Canada.
Cumbermere, Canada.
Also Ontario.
Yeah. All right. Click the bell so you don't miss any of the podcast post games when we come back for the final few months and into the playoffs. Quick question, Jeremy. I sent this to you via TikTok.
You did?
1,000 grapes.
Oh, one?
For every one, you get 50K. But one grape out of the 1,000 is poisonous. How many would or could you eat?
Wait, so how many is per grape?
There's 1,000.
And how
50,000.
I get $50 per
50K.
50,000 per grape?
Per grape. But if you eat the one, you die. You still get the money, but you die. But your family gets the money.
In all honesty, if I won like $300,000, not saying I would retire.
Yeah.
But it would be enough for me to not work again the rest of my life. So with that said, let's keep in mind, folks.
Adam's tired.
You don't need a grade 6 education
6,000.
to have a podcast, because everybody knows that at $50,000 a grape, if I could safely live off
6 grapes,
I could eat 6 grapes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I sent that to
6
you,
grapes.
and then I was talking to Layla. She's like, I wouldn't eat a single one, not one. My family's not worth money. I'm like, don't get all like, of course, family money.
Yeah. $300,000 would get me a long way.
I think I'd probably be at like 5.
That would pay off everything I own right now.
Yeah. Like I don't need,
but I'd still work.
I don't need $50 million.
Nope.
I just need enough that pays off all the debt I have and allows me to work at a job I want to work at, as opposed to I have to go to a job.
Yep.
Right. But yeah, I'd probably be like 5.
300,000 pays off my mortgage, my car, all my debts paid, and then I just work and bank everything.
Yeah. I wouldn't eat like 10. I wouldn't try to get greedy and just go to the next grape, because eventually you're going to get caught. But yeah, I think I would have 5.
Give me 6 grapes.
6 grapes. I'm going to take 5 grapes. That's brought to you by the Basement Yard on TikTok. Never actually watched the show, but they're
Please don't make fun of us for our math skills.
Yeah. I'm tired and he gets 5 hours of sleep.
News and notes from around the Q.
News and notes from around the Q presented by Integrity Lawn Care. Check them out on Instagram or give them a call 506-866-8218 or email them at integritylawncare@hotmail.com. We have a prospects game date.
Oh,
now.
October something.
Yeah, the QMJHL is proud to pronounce the first ever QMJHL prospect game taking place Tuesday, October 21st instead of September 13th in Sherbrooke, Quebec.
Love it.
We'll bring the league's top 40 prospects for the NHL entry draft. Will we have a prospect there next year?
You know what?
I feel like
I think we'll see Nikash.
Yeah.
Potentially Batchilder. And Dark Horse, Jacoby Weiner.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think Weiner is a late birthday. Confirming. No, he's not. So put me down for Nikash, Batchilder, and Jacoby Weiner.
That's a pretty decent 3. I mean,
I don't think we have a forward that's going to be there.
No.
We had one.
Was that 07s?
But then we got Dylan Gill.
Yeah. That'd be the 08s, wouldn't it?
That'll be 08s. Yeah. All you got to do is go back at the draft and be like, here's the first 40 people that were picked.
Yeah.
Let's go
back to the draft.
Because I don't think it was a very good year for goalies, was it?
I don't think so.
Because you're going to need 4 goalies?
Yep.
Oh, maybe it was. Yeah, maybe it was a good year. Yeah, maybe it was a good year. Antoine Prue, Patrick Denichet, Raphael Courchain, Vince Moreau. Yeah, maybe not. But
we did see a couple guys too that went through the draft, didn't get drafted.
Yeah.
And now get another shot at
but there's also
at playing this game.
Maybe guys that are late birthdays too from the 2023 draft that have not taken into consideration here. But I mean,
I do like this idea though. Like the OHL did one, now Q's doing one. I don't think the Dub has one, but with only one roster for the prospects to take on the USA, this is a good way for scouts to come together at all three leagues and have this type of event in their individual leagues. Let these guys no real travel, everything's kind of central. I think this is an excellent way for leagues to promote their guys, because we used to have two teams that were the CAHL, and you got a lot more players. I mean, we only had two from the Q, and we were like, this guy. Could have been, well, they'd be at the prospects game if we had one. So I love this idea. Anything else?
No.
On that? Okay.
We're good.
I just didn't want to cut you off.
I think we'll see one Wildcat,
at least.
Potentially two.
I feel like each team should at least have someone in the game.
That's one thing I'd like for them to do.
Yeah.
It's team representation. Each team has to have at least one player. Make it fair.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if the kid's a second rounder or like a seventh rounder or undrafted or whatever.
Yeah.
Each team should, because you get a guy from whatever team that is not on a draft list, and he shows up and plays a really good hockey game and just kind of elevates himself. I think every team should at least have someone there.
Maybe when I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this.
Go ahead.
There's going to be a very important guest from the QMJHL in Moncton on the 1st of March, I believe. Do we play that night?
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe we'll have an opportunity to ask him.
I like that.
Give that idea. Be like,
what do you think? Get some other ideas we could probably run through.
Yeah.
Steal some rules from the PWHL.
Yeah. That would have to be a CHL wide thing.
Which, speaking of which, we'll get into that in a minute. I'll write that down. The QMJHL following the lead of the WHL. They've had Wednesday night dub with their games on the YouTube page for, I think, 2 years now. The Q will be offering Thursday night showdowns, which will feature Thursday night games on YouTube's. On the QMJHL YouTube, Moncton will be featured on that March 13th in our final match against Cape Breton in Cape Breton.
Oh, lovely. Another game against the Eagles.
3 of our final 4 games in 2025 were against Cape Breton.
What?
We play the 6th, so tomorrow, the 13th against Shawinigan, and the 13th of March against Cape Breton. So of our...
Oh, you're talking Thursday games.
Thursday games.
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
Yeah. No, like you said, another game against Cape Breton, and it's another Thursday game against Cape Breton. We played 6 Thursday night games, and 3 of them were against Cape Breton in the second half.
That's high quality TV there, folks.
that is something. But I like this. I think it's a good way to get your outreach to fans that don't have CHL TV that want to watch games, and it's worked well for the dub. And I have taken some dub games in.
Let's write down that suggestion or that idea.
Which one?
About the prospects game and team representation, because that's a very good question. Because I don't think that was addressed in the press release. Is it just going to be top prospects? Is it going to be
top prospects with someone from every team?
Yeah. Is it just going to be the top 40 players, or is it going to be team? Let's have at least one player from each team. It's a good idea.
I think it should be that.
Yeah, I agree.
QMJHL Players of the Month. Cannot reach this page. That's awesome. Let's see. Well, so you can see them there.
Yeah.
There we go.
Let's get back.
Remy Jelena of Rouyn-Noranda was the forward of the month. 14 goals and 6 assists for 20 points in 12 games. Jacob Newcomb was the honorable mention. 11 goals and 18 assists for 19 points in 11 games. Defenseman of the month, Xavier Villeneuve from the Armada. 5 goals, 11 assists, 16 points in 10 games. Alexis Bernier from Baie-Comeau, 5 goals, 11 assists, and 16 points in 13 games played. Goaltender of the month, Alexis Cornoyer from Cape Breton, 5-2, 1.61 goals against average, and a 9.46 save percentage with 2 shutouts. Honorable mention, Jacob Steinman from Halifax, 4-3, 1-1 with a 2.2 goals against average and a 9.40 save percentage. Someone's awake. And now, with no team of the week or players of the week, we have the Boucher team of the week.
Anyways, no. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to also have Jacob Steinman on here. Pretty self-explanatory. He has been absolutely lights out since being acquired by Halifax.
Yep.
On defense, some new names. I don't think I've had these guys yet this season. Taos Jordan from Gatineau. 5 assists in 2 games. For a team like Gatineau, that's pretty good. William Bishop, I think he's on Val-d'Or. 4 assists in 2 games, which is also pretty good for Val-d'Or.
Yep.
Forwards, the aforementioned Remy Jelena. 17 goals in 16 games since signing with Rouyn-Noranda. And 1 point in every game in January.
Wow.
At least. So pretty good free agent signing. Talk about taking advantage of that NCAA rule.
Yeah.
And I only have 2 forwards. So we're short-handed.
You're not going to go with the other forward we talked about off air? The only Alaskan-born player to play?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Caleb Desnoyers? No, Caleb Desnoyers. Do you know Saturday was his 10th game-winning goal of the season?
I did not know he had that many. I
Leads the league in that category. And it was also, get this, his 5th multi-goal game since the holiday break. In that span, he hasn't had a game or only 1 goal. So if he scores,
he scores a bunch.
He scores again. It's almost like he hasn't had a game since the holiday break of only 1 goal.
So
2 or 3 or 2, 3, 2, 3. So if he scores, you're almost guaranteed he's going to score again.
Huh.
And Simon Binkley. Is it Binkley?
Binkley. Actually, there's another player from Moncton you could put on there if you wanted.
Newly signed, Wildcat.
Yep.
And the first player ever.
Baby emergency, you're up.
From the Wildcats to be from Alaska. So there you go. So Adam's going to take a quick little break here. I'm going to take over the show by myself. I have no idea where we're at. But we're going to have a special guest join us here in just a little bit. I'm super excited to have this individual join us. We've been waiting forever to have this particular individual in the studio with us. So we're just going to chat. Talking about the games over the weekend. Obviously, we had 2 games. We got 2 matchups against the Eagles, 2 wins for the Wildcats. The game in Sydney last Thursday. Offensively, pretty good game. Defensively, hey, look, the defense played great. Let's put it that way. The defense played great. The goaltending was a bit of a question mark. A few of those goals that given up by Russo probably could have had them back, especially that I'm not sure if it was a 3rd or 4th goal. You go to the steak, you go to the keg for a steak, you're not going to find a steak juicier than that rebound. It was quite something. So he's been a bit of hasn't exactly been himself since joining the Wildcats. We're waiting for him to, come into his regular Russo state of mind. Look at that. Our special guest has joined us. And here we go. Making her podcast debut, ladies and gentlemen. Kiva. Look at that. What a baby. Good
job. Yes, that's Kiva Everett.
There we go.
And the Lion King.
I
mean, you've all seen her, but she had to make her podcast debut.
There we go. So yeah, so that was Kiva Emmer making her podcast debut. We've been waiting very long time for that particular debut to happen. So we're thrilled to have had her finally join us in the studio. But yeah, getting back to that game on Thursday against Sydney, it was we wondered how the team was going to respond after the loss to Rimouski. We had Dale McKinnon on the post game show. He pretty much promised that we'd never see an effort like that Rimouski game again. and he came through. He came through. The team came through. Not a whole lot to really complain about in that Thursday game, except for the goaltending. Everything else was went super well. Then we moved into Saturday, and we're back into the Avenir Center against the Eagles again. And Adam, I know you said you didn't watch that game because you were busy with the baby and the Royal Rumble. So I guess I'll take this. I just talked about the game on Thursday, and about how during the post game with Dylan McKinnon, he said promised that the team would never play that again, and he delivered, the team delivered, and I was talking about how offensively, 7 goals did they get against the Eagles that game? 6 goals. Can't ask for more than that. I mentioned defensively they were great, but the goaltending was a bit of a question mark. I talked about
it was the Thursday game.
Yeah.
I mean, when you watch the highlights and it's 13-4 in shots and it's 3-1, that's not the best. I think there's a book on how to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
I think all the teams know it. We're not going to talk about it, but it wasn't the start they were looking for. A goal 70 seconds in. But I think, like you said, McKinnon, we believed that they were going to play better.
Mm-hmm.
They did. And I think the fact that they had to play a team like Cape Breton, they would have had to play Gatineau or Val-d'Or. You might have seen not a lapse, but you might have seen a little bit of issue with the way they played. But I mean, we had our new leadership group announced, and the captain led by example with a hat trick.
Mm-hmm.
And something you brought up a few times, Gabe Smith.
Yep.
Like when he's
a monster.
He's a monster, but when he puts the puck in the net,
he's the best player on the ice.
The best player on the ice. He's more engaged. And I thought he had an unbelievable game. That first goal he had, just sliding into an empty spot, lets it in, like
bumper.
The bumper. Yeah. I know.
We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Weird, right? But yeah, I thought that was a better game from the team. They didn't get the start they wanted, but it didn't collapse them in that building that they've had problems in the last couple of years. And they scored 3 goals in like 2 minutes. So, and then Saturday.
Yeah, I made sure to mention about that Thursday game is that you could go to the keg and order a steak, and it's not as juicy as that Russo rebound on the was it 6-3 or 6-3? 6-3. Yeah. So the third goal, it was a bit of a juicy rebound there, but they
the second one I don't think you saw, the one with 14 seconds left. I swear to God that had to have hit someone. The way he just stood there.
Yeah.
That had to hit a lag and drop.
Yeah. But I think the Saturday game, I think we are hoping to see Rudy Guimond. We got our wish.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure if it was a performance thing from Thursday or if that was just the plan.
I feel like it had to be planned.
Yeah. But I was super impressed. He came in there and he was absolutely lights out. I think defensively they made it an easy night for him. But he also was there to make the saves when called upon. Guaranteed their best effort all season.
Yep.
Like, not even close. Their best effort all season. If Gardner McDougall isn't saying that, something's wrong. It was by far their best effort all season. It was just dominating. And again, Gabe Smith, third goal. It was speed. The speed we've been looking for from Gabe Smith for 2 years now. We saw in that goal, but I also think he was taking advantage of it being Lucas Romeo back on D. Taking advantage of a forward back on D. It's not too difficult to beat him, but he was able to get around him just using his reach and put it 5-hole on the backhand and stood the whole glove wash on the ice all the way to the bench. So by far best effort of the season.
I liked in that one, I think it was the game in Bathurst last week where it was 4-1 for Bathurst, but the dangerous shots for Moncton, they had like 11.
Yep.
Cape Breton had 6, to put that in perspective, 6 dangerous shots.
They kept him to the outside.
And he didn't need to be great. He just needed to be good enough and make the saves he needed to make. And he did that. And it's at the point, it's funny, in my notes I had, this was the game I was going to talk about how Dylan said, it showed after these 2 games. The commitment to defense is there. But yeah, he doesn't have to be good. You're great. He's just got to be good. He's making the saves. You can see the team loves him with that water shower after the game. And I think it's affording him more starts. I would assume it's affording him more starts. I was a little surprised they went back-to-back Cornway. I don't know how injured Malota is, but he was backing up, so I thought we might see him. Where I think that's why I think this one was a planned start instead of having Russo go back-to-back and then Guimond the third one. But
with that said,
I don't hate it if it's Guimond going back-to-back.
Does he deserve another one? After a shutout, do you not normally ride the hot goalie?
You've made that your thing for 2 years.
I mean, if
when we were picking the goaltenders every now and again or giving our opinion,
you're in, right?
Winning you're in, and a shutout you definitely should be in.
Yeah, I think if you're on a shutout,
yeah,
you should almost be guaranteed the next start.
I would think so.
So again, is this something they're going to follow through with? Again, we're never right.
No.
So it's likely going to be Rousseau. And if it's Rousseau, I hope the fact that it will technically be a week off for him.
Yeah.
He's able to rebound and calm down a little bit.
I think why I would start Guimond on Thursday. It's a 3-3 this week. It's Cape Breton at home, and then Charlottetown,
and then St. John,
or St. John, then Charlottetown, Friday, Saturday. And the reason that I would start Guimond this week is Rousseau's been okay. He hasn't lit the world on fire. He's not playing behind a team where he needs to light the world on fire. But he's been okay. I think if you give Guimond this one because he's earned it after the shutout, and you give Rousseau St. John, they're a team that's struggling right now. Maybe that's the one where it's a 18 save goose egg. Like that's like a confidence game for him. I just think that would be my reasoning to give Guimond Thursday, give Rousseau Saturday or Friday against St. John. And then if he plays well in that type of game and he gets that 19 goose egg, he gets the next one because that's the precedent you set, where if you get the 0, you get the next one. And maybe that just kind of slowly builds him because that he's playing on the 15th. He's playing the Halifax game.
Yep.
So I think for me, I would give Guimond the start after the shutout against Cape Breton again. And I would give Rousseau a game to kind of rebound. Should you need that from a 20-year-old like Rousseau? No. But also, goaltenders are a creature of habit. And everything that he's had a habit of has been completely ripped out from under him. Like it's all new everything. And I know Steinman's doing what he's doing, but he's making a point to prove to carry this team.
Yeah.
So
I think you got to get Rousseau his gear. I makes me wonder if it's just a color, like the gear thing.
Yeah.
Like the colors.
Yeah. Well, his buckets are on the way.
Yeah. Like it's just something's up. Something's not right. I saw a conspiracy theory on Twitter the other day that he was told to play bad in Moncton to screw over the Wildcats.
Oh,
Halifax fans.
Yeah, I mean,
they just want Dinwiddie at the draft.
Yeah, they really do. And I don't think there's another one that's coming. There's not a third Dinwiddie brother, is there?
Nope.
Because that's the only way they're going to get one. So, that would be quite the conspiracy.
Just go through the all the tweets. Some of those tweets show up as show probable spam or scam. Yeah. That's where I saw it. I was like, this is hilarious.
Oh, that is funny. So well done on the recaps.
Thank you.
Well done. Did you hit the button?
What? No,
okay.
I didn't.
Yeah, I would have had to come over here, hit the button. It's all good. You carried the show. Let's talk about that. You carried the show while I had a baby emergency. So I appreciate you doing that. But the Wildcats do have 74 points. They're first in everywhere. They would still have that first round matchup with the Rempar, but Halifax is at 39 points. They are 1 point behind Quebec right now.
Well, that would be an interesting first round matchup.
Yeah, that's not something I want to entertain at all. But yeah, right now
Nope.
St. John and Halifax would cross over. Drummondville would take on St. John. Rouen would take on Halifax. Sherbrooke, Val-d'Or, Shawinigan, Blainville.
Shout out to the Q for putting up their playoff matchups.
But not putting out who's clinched. And I will say, I tweeted it. I put it on Instagram. The OHL does a great job. Last night they had a Instagram and a tweet saying London with a win over Windsor has a chance to qualify. That's all we're looking for.
Mhm.
So the fans have something to look at when they go to the rink. Kind of talked about the preview. Yeah, you
Not
ready
mu-
for everyone's favorite
It's
part?
not
of the
really
show?
much to preview. I mean,
No.
it's teams that we know.
Yeah.
It's
The
you
biggest
know.
preview there was who starts the next game.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm excited to see Binkley,
Yes, Simon,
Right?
the first
Um,
Alaskan.
the first Alaskan.
The first Alaskan to play for the Wildcats. Yeah, Binkley.
Binkley.
What do we have for time? Well, we got plenty of time.
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
So I took it upon myself
Oh, did you?
to watch a Vernon Vipers game.
Yeah. I had no time to do that, so
that's
I
okay.
reached out to
That's
someone,
okay.
and
That's
we
okay.
came to the same conclusion.
So we're basically getting another Max Cote, if you want to put it that way. Another 200-foot, super competitive, in your nose. Andrew Barrington calls Max Cote a little prick.
When he's on your team, you love it.
Yeah. So I imagine Simon Binkley is just another prick.
A good way.
I guess the question mark around that is he's committed to Alaska Fairbanks next season. Will he play there as a 19-year-old, or will we have him for a season and a half? Because based on our roster shakeup, our roster look right now, there's going to be a lot of turnover.
Yeah.
Next season, and if we can have a player like Simon Binkley in our lineup next season for free, thumbs up.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically another Max Cote.
That's
We don't know how long Logan Crosby is going to be able to line up because A, he had a concussion before Christmas, and B,
the Wildcats don't tell anything.
I'm pretty sure he has another concussion.
Yeah.
So 2 concussions in a month is not very good for your health.
No.
So
He
it
could
makes
be
me
shut
wonder.
down to the playoffs.
Yep. Makes me wonder if this signing is more of a you're going to play on the 4th line in Logan Crosby's spot because he's out till the playoffs. So we'll see. I think he's going to be a 4th line player.
Yeah.
But if he's back with us next season, I think he's top 6.
Yep. And I didn't have the time to watch Vernon Vipers game, nor would I know where to find a Vernon Vipers game. Which is why you are the guy that does all the scouting because you know where to find these kids and how to watch these games. But yeah, 6 foot, 185 pounds, 8th in scoring in Vernon.
Yeah. So
Vernon's not a great team in
Yeah.
BCHL right now.
He was a 3rd line player in Vernon.
Yeah.
So I mean, but if he just search his name on Twitter, a couple highlights. Yeah, it's a good signing, good depth move, and for free.
Yep. And that's what you're looking for right now. You got a couple more days so you can get unsanctioned players, which is basically BCHL players in the queue.
Yep.
You saw one go to St. John in the goaltender, and then obviously Binkley here. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, the person that I talked to plays hard, gives us more flexibility.
Yep.
And that's
pretty much
all
what
you're
it
looking
is.
for. And if he starts on that 4th line, so we don't have to go 11-7, because I mean, we haven't gone 11-7
or
because
10-8 like the Islanders.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, they did win that game too. So.
Yeah. Was that the one in
Gatineau.
Gatineau?
Yeah.
Which again, you talk about any team can beat any team any night. They went into Rwanda, I think, and
Mhm.
won 6-5-2 or something like that.
Yep.
And then they played against Val-d'Or and lost 10-3.
Yep.
Like
The parity in this league
Yeah.
is
yeah,
unbelievable.
absolutely. So but yeah, it just affords us to have a full roster instead of having Jack Hain come up and then down and then up and then down. It's a full roster. And if Crosby comes back earlier than the playoffs, then great. You have internal competition to your team, and that's never a bad thing. And like we said last week in goaltending, if Rudy gets a start and plays great and we have a goaltending controversy, great. I don't think we do yet, but
Not a bad thing.
not a bad thing to come on here and talk about which goaltenders should get the start when they both kind of deserve the start. Are you ready for everyone's favorite part of the show?
Eric Murray, Realtor. Buy your house from him. Stick Tap of the Week.
All right, so kind of got a two-part one.
Oh.
So just because you stole a thunder last week, no, just kidding. So first one, I'm giving it to the St. John Sea Dogs because they're doing something a little different. This weekend there's a high school hockey tournament
Oh yeah.
in St. John, and it's going to be built. The schedule itself is built around their game against Baie-Comeau on Friday,
Mhm.
and then our game against the Sea Dogs on Saturday. So I think there's 3 or 4 teams: St. Max, Sussex, Rothsay, and I can't think the other high school, maybe St. John High. So high school tournaments are pretty normal around this time of the year. The difference is the MVP of this high school tournament gets an invite to the Sea Dogs training camp.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's not something you hear about every day, and you don't see high school players getting invites to Q camps, but there are some high school players that can play at the level. It's maybe a financial thing. Their family can't afford to pay $15,000 to have their son play U18, right? I like this because it's giving an opportunity to a player who wouldn't necessarily get that chance to prove themselves in front of brass.
Yeah.
Right. And this MVP will be selected by the St. John Sea Dogs hockey operations team. So I think it's a great idea. It's a great initiative. It gives an extra punch to all these players that step on the ice this weekend to go out and play their best and kind of earn a spot at a Q training camp next year. Part 2 is to the people of Bathurst, because I know how much heartbreak it is to lose your Teton. But of course, it's now being rumored that the Fredericton Red Wings are going to be moving to Bathurst starting in September, actually, next season. So I still know you supported the Titan. Might not have showed it, but just go out and support Junior A.
Yeah,
because it's a good league. It's a lot more physical than the Q. I've been sending you videos of Eastern Slender,
just trucking
absolutely
guys.
not giving a F about anybody on the ice.
Yeah.
There was one, Mitchell Wagner hit a guy into the bench.
Yeah.
It's a very physical league, and with the team in Bathurst, there's going to be great rivalry with Campbellton and Miramichi.
Yeah.
So
the aforementioned Slender. And
like you should be ecstatic about this for the people in Bathurst.
Where's East Coast Blizzard? They're up there too, aren't they?
Newfoundland. That's Newfoundland.
In the MHL?
East Coast Blizzard?
Which is the Blizzard team in the
Edmonton.
MHL? Oh, Edmonton.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're up there too.
So it's a good opportunity for, the hockey fans up on the North Shore to, you lost your Q team, but you're getting a Maritime Hockey League team, and it's good hockey. You should just get out and support them.
I will agree with that.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the Remax Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
Call me crazy, Jeremy, but teams that market their teams and to their fans to give them a reason to show up. And like I was saying to you while that intro was going, if you buy a ticket to that tournament, you get to go to the Sea Dogs games too. So you get to see a whole lot of hockey. And it's just, marketing. It works. That brings us to the Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary, Lynns Massage and Spa. Right now, they've got the teeth whitening available, $85. You can get 3 15-minute sessions included with that price. Add another 15 minutes for only $20. Don't forget, they have the loyalty card. Buy 9 spa services, get 1 free. Call them at 506-830-1224 or visit them at 1224 Mountain Road. This one goes to the aforementioned captain. Was newly named captain to the team. He's had 2 hat tricks in the past 3 games. He had a hat trick Thursday night in Cape Breton, and had a hat trick against Bathurst, and that 7-1 win. So 2 of the last 3 games, he's had a hat trick. He's running the offense right now along with Denway. So your Wildcat of the Week is number 6, your captain, Marcus Vidicek.
You know what we didn't talk about?
Nope.
We didn't give our Super Bowl predictions.
We can do that right now.
Go Eagles. That's enough.
Yeah. Go Kendrick Lamar.
Mustard.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to give my Super Bowl prediction because
No,
I don't
it's okay.
care.
Yeah.
Like, the lesser of two evils is the Eagles. But yeah, the NFL loves their dynasties. They had the Steelers, the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Patriots. Now they've got the Chiefs. And like I said in my fantasy football group, this is how this thing is going to end. The Chiefs are going to win. Travis is going to propose. He's going to retire a champion, 3-time champion, the first time a team's ever three-peated, unless you don't, first time an NFL team is three-peated because the NFL isn't recognizing the Green Bay Packers doing it. But anyways, he's going to retire doing something that no team has ever done, three-peat, and then he's going to propose to Taylor. And that's how he's going to ride off into the sunset.
Nice.
Goodell gets his whatever. He gets his Taylor Swift moment. The Chiefs win, and then hopefully they go into mediocrity forever. Which is not a thing. They won't actually do that.
Protection.
Yeah.
I just hope the Eagles win.
Yeah, I do too. I 100% hope they do. But that'll do it for this week. Tomorrow's game against the Eagles is Wild Woolies Book Club. So if you have some extra books that are the age K to 8, make sure to drop them off at the front doors, I would imagine.
Bunch of nerds.
Bunch of nerds. The book, or not the book tour, the bus trip. It's completely sold out.
Yeah, I predicted it.
Yeah,
Which
which is
3 weeks ago.
which is fantastic that they actually it was looking lean there for a bit, but congratulations to Nicole.
Have some more
Tanya
locally.
And Bruce. Yes.
I can go locally. Like, I'm surprised there's not one this weekend.
Yeah, this would be a good one.
You know, like,
Yeah. The Family Day game on the Monday, the 17th. I mean, I know you'll be in
I'll be on
the island.
Yeah.
The Jack Frost Fest. But
That's right.
yeah. I'm just glad they're back. Just make it a consistent thing every year to at least have one road trip and more closer trips. The thing I was going to ask or talk about a while ago on the show before Kiva had to make her debut, I wonder what rule set the Memorial Cup is. If it's going to be no fighting.
Oh.
Because it's in the queue.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, we might care. We're going to be there.
Yeah.
But that's an adjustment for the OHL and the WHL.
We'll see. I think we'll see about that. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let them fight and just not suspend them.
That too. That would work for me too. All right. For Jeremy, I'm Adam. We'll be better next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.